I always look for ways to make my life a little easier. Don't you? Most of the time, I don't know how to do that, but I can sometimes manage it in my mind. And one way I try to do that is to imagine that my life is better than it really is. I live in fantasy some of the time, and that's my point. I especially like to imagine having things and resources that I don't have actually, like a Ferrari. I'm not driving it right now because it's in the factory getting built. Still, it's nice to have one. It's better to have a Ferrari that's not yet delivered than none at all. Try it. I think you'll agree. Or sometimes I imagine being a part of a mafia family, say a Turkish one or one from Belarus, a family that has a presence here in New York. I imagine a cousin that I can call if I ever want to, if ever someone's really bothering me. Is he bothering you, Godfrey? Let me know. I'll take care of it. Wouldn't it be the best to have a cousin like that? Of course, even if this cousin had been real, I wouldn't give him names of actual people, but it would be great to know he's there. I have that cousin. I'd feel stronger in the world having such a cousin. And who knows, maybe one day I would call. For this fantasy to be as plausible as possible, it helps if I myself have a bit of that cousin in me. If I'm not so different from that cousin and no better than he is, no better. I'm not myself a hitman or anything, not like him. But if my cousin says, "Your landlord's bothering you, Godfrey, is he?" in a menacing way, a bit like that, I would really wonder, is he? Is he bothering me? And then I might nod, only slightly, or say, well, he did just increase my rent, and I'd never hear from that landlord again. That would be good, wouldn't it? Or maybe my next rent invoice would be for half the increase he'd asked for, or the rest of the year would be free. Or say there's someone who works at the grocery store. She sells meats and cheeses, but she always seems to be occupied, busy. Someone else is ahead of me in the queue right now, which I don't think is right. I mean, wasn't I here first? So I take a photo of the cheesemonger and of the gentleman who's pushed in front of me, and I send these to my cousin. The secret to using this fantasy in a strong and productive way is that things just get taken care of. He doesn't ask me, but are you sure, Godfrey, is that really what you want? And then people do start to be killed. They do. I send him a few names at first and a few more too as time goes on. As it happens, I do have a Turkish cousin. Omar is his name. He lives in Sunnyside, in Queens. His wife's name is Edda. She's been married already, I think 3 times, and is a stay-at-home mum to their 3 children, all of whom are under 9. Anyway, Omar does actually do some mafia work. I don't think he's quite a hitman yet, but who knows? And he does know a lot of people who are. I should ask him what level he's risen to by now. Maybe I'm underestimating him. He's someone I actually can speak to when I'm not being well respected. And he's out of his mind, really. He does the jobs I ask him to do, every single one of them. He's building quite a reputation that way. You don't cross Omar. So yeah, I'm ordering hits left and right. This guy and that one. And I don't know, I might be upsetting a lot of powerful people and filling out my own chest that way. My cousin might be the one to do the killings, but who's to say I couldn't do them myself if I wanted to? After all, he is taking his orders from me. Oh my goodness! What was that? Is someone shooting at me? Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's firecrackers. So yes, the point is not, have you, Godfrey, ever killed someone? Or caused someone to be killed? I mean, really? Have you actually done it or not? Or isn't that a dangerous life that you lead these days, Godfrey? Might you not be killed yourself? Of course it's dangerous. It is dangerous. I have to make sure that my own family is taken care of no matter what, and that my enemies know always to look over their shoulders. People in the mafia, they know who their friends are, but I'm not anyone's friend. So yes, my message to them is, don't underestimate how formidable I am. I will use my power even against those I'm closest to, my own cousins if need be. Something like that, a strong message like that. If you can, and this is advice I followed myself, build your reputation in the mafia as a peacemaker. Really, I mean this, but in a way that is intimidating, as in, there won't be any conflict in the family while I'm around. That's not going to happen. You see, something like that. My cousin thinks that he's going to become a mafia boss in the next round when they announce the promotions. He's young still and a bit too ambitious. He gets ahead of himself sometimes. I've warned him about that before. Really, I've warned him more times than I can remember. Not in a heavy-handed way, but, Omar, they don't forget, so be careful. These are dangerous people. And he says, oh, no, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. He was killed last week. It was a hit. I didn't order it. I didn't. It was an internal matter within the family. I was told about it beforehand, as I should have been. He was my cousin after all, and I said, that's fine. It's okay. It's okay by me. I don't actually think they were calling for my permission as such. I'm not sure whether they were or not, but I didn't get in the way. I stepped aside. I have to say, I walk with a bit of a swagger these days, a better sense of my impact on other people. How seriously people take me. It's possible I could die early like my cousin did. Who knows? Maybe I'll die while I'm in prison. Not that I leave myself open to an arrest. I don't. I'm careful that way. I try to keep out of the spotlight, but there's a limit, I suppose, to how much one can do that when the mafia is involved. Look, you don't need to be a mafia boss to get a lot out of a connection to a crime family. But why not? I mean, if you can make that happen, why not?